Welcome back to the 2015 NAB show. Another episode of Anthony Hits the Couch. Today we have a special guest, Slavik, down from Alaska.
That's right.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you work on?
Yeah, so I worked at a PBS station up in Anchorage, Alaska for a number of years, and just last year I had a kid and went off on my own, and so I do for-hire corporate stuff, but my main gig now is for PBS National, and I travel around the country making cool 3 to 6 minute little documentaries about people and interesting people who do cool things, and it's called Indie America. It's a PBS Digital series, and so that's kind of a 1 week a month kind of deal, and the rest of the time I'm making documentary-esque mini shorts for corporate clients, nonprofits, things like that.
So going the documentary route tells me that you're into the storytelling aspect.
Yeah, it's huge for me. I came from a writing background actually, and I realized that I can't ever write a better story than people can tell. So my job is just to make people's stories as good as possible, and which means I interview people for a long time, an hour and a half per person for a short 3 minute video. I transcribe everything that I interview so that I could then just pluck out like the very best story out of the interview, and then we make sure that all the B-roll that we shoot just kind of fits this. We're all going to spend 4 or 5 hours with somebody, and we're going to create a video for them that hopefully will be really special. We want to do as good of a job as possible. And
so you go into this like you do a little background on the person, draft questions, or you kind of think about what you want to hear from them. Like, how do you approach it?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of pre-production on the phone, but me and my business partner and co-shooter, Travis Gilmore, we do have everything in mind about what we want. We know we want at least 2 or 3 locations, so that there's sequences, so that there's momentum. Even though a 3 to 5 minute video sounds really short for web audiences that are watching stuff on their phone, it's like a lifetime unless it's a good video, unless there's a momentum. So we know we need locations, we know we need action, and then when we interview people, what we do to extract the best kind of interview as possible is we just have one person behind the camera, lights dim, just one. I use an ice light for the subject, for the key light, and there's this voice, mine or Travis's voice, behind the camera, asking these questions that are very intimate. And for these people, they don't really feel like they're having a conversation with an interviewer. They're kind of talking to themselves, like somewhere in the back of the room, somebody goes, "What are your fears?" We get really intimate responses from people, and then we go back and edit that into a good story and put that together with B-roll and do it again the following week. So we did about 65 of these little mini docs in Alaska for the local series called Indie Alaska, which then outgrew into Indie America, which we started last August, and we're going through December, and hopefully it'll get renewed again for the following year. And yeah, it's all online.
Very cool. So I appreciate the fact that you guys travel light. We love the Westcott gear, ice lights. What's your normal rig? You got a backpack with you today. When you travel 1 week a month, what are you bringing?
Yeah, figuring out the backpack situation has been really crucial to making this possible, because we don't have huge budgets for luggage. I don't travel with big hard cases. Pelicans. I got a Tom Bin bag from Seattle. It's just a regular backpack that happens to be perfect for the C100, and it's got a little lens bag in the back side of the bag for 3 lenses, C100 in the front. Then I got a porta brace for all of the other stuff, essentials. I got a tiny tripod. I call it the chicken legs. Tiny tripod that I bring everywhere. Little slider, ice light, stand, and a little monopod, and just anything that I might possibly need always goes with me, and Travis has basically the same exact identical kit, so that we know if one of us needs to look for something in a bag, we know exactly where to look, because it's the same bag and it's the same kit.
Nice.
So portability is super huge. I never bring anything that I don't think I'll use, and there's a lot of stuff here, especially like this year, amazing, cool, but would I ever bring it on a shoot with me? Can I carry it onto a plane? If not, then I don't know if I'm going to use it very often.
So when you come to a show like this, knowing that like you're on the road, you're agile, you got to travel, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for even lighter. I'm looking for even smaller and more portable, battery powered. Long-lasting, durable. Things that I can bring in a plane with me. I try to, with my backpack, the camera and lenses never leaves my back. With my porta brace, I try to hold on to it as much as possible. If I have to check it, it'll be okay. But I don't ever say goodbye to my gear, and it goes into the luggage carousel. So if it's something that can fit in either of those bags, I'm excited. If it means that I have to get a whole new bag for it, then I'm kind of less excited about it.
What are you looking for? What do you like? What would solve a major problem?
What will solve a major problem? I think Westcott Flex Light solved a major problem this year.
Yeah.
Huge game changer. Super bright. They got bicolor now. They got battery solution for it. They do have like a kind of a brick battery, but it works with any D-tap.
Yep,
so you go on Amazon and you can probably find all sorts of battery adapters for whatever you have, Sony's or Canon's.
Yeah, we love that Flex Light. Goes in my laptop bag.
Yeah.
And
you've been using it, really?
Yeah. Our travel kit is, we've got 2 ice lights with us, and we know that lighting is decent here with the SLRs.
Yeah.
But we picked up the Flex Light, and I did a project in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. I had my camera backpack, which had 2 bodies and 3 extra lenses, all my batteries, 3 hard drives, my laptop, and then I had a carry-on bag with socks, underwear, another pair of sneakers, and the Westcott Flex Light in there. And I grabbed sticks locally from a cheap place.
Yeah.
And it's just the way to go. I mean, that Flex Light's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't even need sticks. You clip it on a stand,
Really?
on a chair.
Yeah, I think it's so new. I think that as more people are excited about it, we'll start seeing third-party clips or stands and ways to wrap it around objects and maybe even wear it around your neck or something. There'll be total new products coming out next year for the Flex Light, and we'll probably see a lot of copycats too.
Yeah, we've seen a few on the floor already.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that tripods and monopods are getting better for the DSLR market or the small form video camera market. I'm still not satisfied with the fluid head options out there. I've looked around, I've tried a ton of them. If they're small, they tend to be okay for wide shots, but never for telephoto.
Yep.
And so I think I'm almost there. I just found, like, deep within the interwebs, a person who recommended this Veravon head that was only like $130, and then it sold out because somebody heard about it and it went off in the blogosphere, and then it started selling on eBay for like $1,500 because it got like a lot of excitement. And that was back at B&H, called the Veravon 815 FH, and I picked up 2 of them recently, and it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And I thought I was the only one that ever used it, and I went to Blackmagic, and they had them in all their cameras. So
That's
I
why
think
they're $1,500.
I think the word is out.
Yeah.
So, but I want something that I can buy locally. Veravon's cool, but if it has to be shipped over 8 weeks,
Yeah.
I want something that
in Alaska makes it tough.
I wish Sockler or Miller or Manfrotto or Gitzo or somebody would make something for the cinema, for the lightweight cinema line of Canon, or for small cameras that that was still decent. And if it costs money, like I think a lot of people who have traveled with a bad tripod head or fluid head realize that it's worth its weight in gold if you can trust your fluid head.
Yeah.
If you have a pan and you have one chance to get it, and you don't get it because of a not a very good fluid head.
Yeah, shot's ruined.
Yeah, and then you don't want to use that head ever again.
Well, I mean, I think that's very particular and very specific to the type of work that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because if somebody's giving you a line that's heartfelt, you can't have them deliver that again the same way.
No, and if you have a couple hours to follow somebody around and capture some action, and you have 1 or 2 chances to get that action, there isn't a redo. Yeah. The other thing that I'm super excited about, so I'm slowly like solving my problems, right? There's things that are coming out, and it's not like adding to my bags, it's replacing stuff in my bags. The other thing that I'm super excited about, and it's not on the show floor, but it should be, is the Smart System Smart Slider. They just announced it, Reflex, I think a month ago. They make a 516 version, 410, and then 700 bigger ones, and of course I'm interested in the smallest one, 410. And I ordered one from Italy. It's not available in the US with the distributor yet. You have to order it either directly from them or on Amazon through a third party. But this thing is like ridiculously awesome. It's so lightweight, it's like 2 pounds for, it's almost 2 feet in length. And it's got a built-in fluid in the actual sliding mechanism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so takes me, I would say, an average of 1.5 slides to get a decent slide, where it used to take me like 10 to 20 with other travel sliders. And they're all great, they all have limitations, but this thing just somehow nails it out of the park.
We've been loving that guy.
Smart System, the Edelkrone,
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Give us a little slide, J Money. We've been using this stuff for a while. They were here last year. They're not here this year. But same thing, in 18 inches, it doubles in length because it articulates over itself.
That's awesome.
So we have a Pelican case when we do
Yeah.
larger things, where that fits in the Pelican case. Couple of loops if we've got to shoot outside for the cameras, a couple of wired lavs, some XLRs, and audio kit. And that is amazing. We've got 2 of them and we beat the hell out of them.
Oh, really?
And they're super durable.
Well, and what I do is I have like my one Manfrotto quick release system that I use in everything, the 394. So what I put, instead of putting a fluid head on top, I just put a top plate and a bottom plate, and just place it on my sliders on a tripod. Because then you can still adjust the tilt and the you know, pan. But that way, you know, to get a slide shot, which people like us, we have one chance to get it. You know, just take the camera off the tripod, slider, camera on the tripod. I mean, on the slider, get the 1 or 2 slides, take it off, and then keep going.
And with a good fluid head, you know, you can use that slider like a jib.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, we love that. Yeah. And
I haven't done that.
So we'll do that. We'll put the slider on a traditional pan tilt fluid head, and then we'll put a head like that, like a still head, because then you can adjust the camera at any angle. So
As
while
you're
your
moving,
jib is on an angle, while your slider's on an angle, you can have the camera. You guys are fun.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's awesome. Go for it. You know, it gives us a lot of flexibility. So
Really?
when we travel, we'll do a kit like this. You know, one will be a lockdown shot, and then we pan tilt with that, and with that head on the slider, we can do. I mean, I can replicate a jib. You can. It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. What kind of tripod are you using?
So that's just Manfrotto small carbon fiber sticks.
Oh, really?
You know, I wouldn't put the slider on that because they're a little light, but I'm comfortable with just grabbing that, putting the head in my backpack, and walking on a flight with that.
Yeah.
And then that's just some aluminum Manfrotto
Right.
sticks.
Well, I got my Gitzo travel tripod, 1542T is about the same size, and you'd be surprised. These Manfrotto and Gitzo sticks, like they don't recommend you put anything over 8 pounds, but I think you can push it. Yeah.
The only thing with the slider is once you get to that edge, the fulcrum.
It kind of goes a little bit, but you only need that like center part anyway.
Inches,
my philosophy has always been like if you can slide slow enough, you only need like this much. Because you need 3-4 seconds of a slide in your shot before you got to move on. And so if you can just get 3-4 seconds, like you know the Edelkrone there, like that's probably more than you'd ever need.
And that's the medium size.
Oh, really?
The smaller one, they're super portable.
The longer ones, like if I have to watch a slide shot for like 15 seconds, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, well, it's funny talking about the gear. Like we also do some PSA work and TV work for ads. We did a 30-second PSA recently, and the whole theme was one slide shot.
Oh,
so we had 30 foot of
cut
Kessler
together.
track. It was one
one
solid
slide shot, really?
Yep. It was a bunch of high school kids leaning against a wall of lockers.
Oh, wow.
And they were each on their phone. So we needed to be 30 feet in 30 seconds.
Wow.
And no motor out there goes that pace because they're all for time lapse. And the hall was in a middle school, so it was maybe 8 feet wide, so we couldn't use traditional dolly. So Jared tore apart a DV duplicator and used that motor with a training wheel and made a Bluetooth control.
Awesome.
So we went 30 feet in 30 seconds.
Awesome.
But now we have this 30 feet of Kessler track in 4-foot sections, which is awesome, but it does not travel as well as all that we need, that like 1 foot slide.
Yeah, it's all, I mean, different uses. You know, when you're at home, it's really nice to be able to throw a bunch of stuff in the back of the car, but when we're traveling, you know, like, you know, it's got to be small, it's got to be lightweight.
Well, it's like camping. You know, if you're filming one interview or 5 days worth of interviews, you got to bring all the same stuff.
And you need, you know, you need backup. You need plan B and C. You know, if something happens, something breaks, you need to be able to be flexible and fix things on the road and, you know, quickly so that your documentary subject doesn't realize that there's a problem, you know?
Yeah, they never want to hear you say, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that you can say in front of a subject.
I don't know what just happened. Can we start over again really quick? Hold on.
Do that again while I hit record.
Yeah.
But, well, very cool, man. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, well, thanks, Anthony. It's been great.
Yeah, so people can tune in to PBS to see your stuff. Where else can they find you?
IndieAmerica.tv, that's where the episodes live, or just Google. But Video Dads is my company with Travis, videodads.com. Our tagline is where the client always comes second to our babies.
Well, with the 5-month-old,
yeah. But and then we're around. I'm working for New Shooter this week, covering the gear and the halls. So you know, if you're at NAB or if you were, you know, and didn't say hi to me, you should say hi to me on Twitter, AK Video Shooter.
Very cool. Thank you again.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing your stuff online.
All right. Thanks.
Cool.